on. Yay! So I love that when we go live, a little thing says, post this link to your Facebook and share with your friends. Post this thing to your Twitter and share with your friends. Hi, Rachel. So please, this is the time. Go tell your friends. Post those links to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram or wherever. If you're lucky enough to have the swipe up Instagram story, you know, that would be awesome. Let's get as many people here as we can to have a good time. Welcome to American Sex Live. I am Sunny Megatron.
I am Ken Melvingberg.
And what are we? Sexuality educators, pleasure advocates, and kinky perverts too. Wow, am I having a little stroke here? Let my word. It was really hard to pull the words from my brain. What's going on?
Did you forget what we do for a living?
I don't know. Who are you? What? Okay, so
I'm the recreational vehicle.
Hey everyone. So yeah, we love doing our live broadcast. If you listen to regular American Sex, that drops every Monday. This week our guest was Midori. Also, she was our guest last week on the live stream. It's good. Go listen. And you can get that on iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and all these places. But you're special. If you're here with us on Get Vocal, you may actually be seeing us right now on Facebook Live or Periscope or YouTube Live, and that's awesome if you are. However, this is an interactive platform. You can pop on screen with us, which I'm going to lock that right now because I don't want you to pop on yet, but later. But you can't do that. We can't even see your comments or questions if you're on Facebook, Periscope, or YouTube. Which is, how did I do that? I locked it. Which is bit.ly/Sunny, SUNNY, Get Vocal, GETVOKL. So bit.ly/Sunny Get Vocal. Okay. Couple other things. Yeah, we're part of the Connection Zone on every Wednesday night. So if you tune in like a few hours earlier, you can see a bunch of shows about dating, sex, love, all that fun stuff. Did I miss a thing? Relationships. Yes.
And that's sort of what today's episode is about.
Yes. I'm still ball washing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the ball washing portion. I got to get the back quadrant of the left ball, and then it'll be like done.
Fresh ball.
Yes. If you are so inclined, I know times are tight, but Get Vocal implemented a V-coin tipping system. So if you're like, oh my God, this information is amazing, throw us some coins, maybe Ken will undress a little bit, enough where it could still be family friendly. Yes, who wants that fresh ball smell? I think we all do. Also, if you really love what we do, you can become a Patreon member. Go to Patreon, Patreon. Yay, see? Look at there, right there. Oh, everybody's throwing the coins. Oh, thank you.
Give it a nipple.
Oh, there, nipple. Patreon.com, Patreon.com/American Sex. When you're a member, I send you stickers in the mail. I got a big stack of stickers going out. I'm waiting for my stamps to get here, though. You get all of our episodes early. Can you take off his necklace? It's like jingling.
Yeah.
Okay. You get all of our episodes early, bonus episodes, bonus audio, and we started doing patron-only hangouts. As I said last night, we all played Cards Against Humanity together right here on a private Get Vocal stream, which is pretty damn cool. So, all right. As Ken was talking about, this is a good one. This is networking for kinky people, but the quarantine edition, because things have changed just a little bit. Ken, do you want to say what this class is about and how it was born?
So I started networking for kinky people back in the 90s. Holy fuck, I'm old.
Wow.
And at that point, the internet was barely born. And it was a combination of how to find people that you wanted to meet either for fucking, for relationships, or for sex work, or whatever. Like if there was some reason that you were kinky and you were trying to find other people, this was a class that would help you get to those other people and do it in a way where everybody had consent. And, you know, there was a lot of good things about it. This is also the class that we were teaching at Northwestern University when the fuck saw incident happened. So it's been a while since we've done this one.
Yeah.
And like she said, this is updated for pandemic edition
and for the new century, because we have websites on here that were like, no,
that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, Collar Me, I think, was on here.
Oh my
I
God.
thought they gave it a different name because it's not Color Me anymore. I don't
think
know.
it exists.
Okay, so before we get started, I want to put like a couple, I don't know, put our lens on, our Instagram filter of kind of what we're talking about. I want you to keep in mind that when you are looking for online sex, sex can be a lot of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to just be like penis and vagina or touching the genitals. When people are looking for online sex, it could be something that's sensually erotic. It could be just like reading erotica with a stranger in a sexy voice. It could be doing BDSM power exchange. So when we say you're looking for sex on the internet, we're using that expanded definition of whatever is sexy to you. Now, secondly, because this is all happening during the pandemic, I'm looking at this glass half full because we've glass half emptied for the last month. I'm done being glass half empty. We are glass half full. This is pretty cool. Looking for somebody to do kinky things with in the middle of a pandemic. You have a lot of opportunities and open doors for you that you would not have otherwise, and I want you to take advantage of them. So first of all, if you're someone who's like, maybe I've never been kinky before and I've always wanted to, and now's the chance. Or maybe you are kinky or you engage in alternative, whatever, sex relationships, styles, whatever you do. You want to push it a little further. Being in an environment that's strictly online is a really unique situation for you. And it is a safer environment to maybe push your own boundaries, to engage in something where maybe you're like, it's not a no, like, oh no, off limits. Like it's a maybe, like we've talked about, yes, no, maybe, Lisa, maybe, I don't know. Because you're in the privacy of your own home. If you're like, okay, I thought I was going to try this, a little too freaky for me, you shut the laptop, you're done. So that's pretty damn cool. A lot of times we don't know exactly what we're into until we're exposed to it a little bit. And sometimes when we're exposed to stuff in person with a stranger, it's just, there's way too much going on and we don't go there. So I want you to use that to your advantage. Another thing is, like, one of the boundary pushing things that people are really into is stranger sex, like hot doing whatever with a hot fucking stranger, which you may not do in real life because you might end up in 14 separate garbage bags strewn across the city. But when you're on your computer, you can hook up with a different person every night and not have to worry about STIs, not have to worry about, are they going to hurt me or harm me or stalk me? Granted, internet security.
Or get me pregnant.
Right, exactly. So it's a really unique time right now. Take advantage of that shit. All right. So, oh, another thing that's really cool is when you're diving into kink or any alternative relationship style or whatever, a lot of communication is required. And especially when you're new to that, it's sometimes hard to adapt to like, oh, I need to say all these things and do all this negotiation. By design, when you're meeting people on the computer, it forces you to communicate and to really talk. So that's cool. So if you were in our live stream a couple weeks ago, we did long distance kink and cyber sex. We told you how to play, the tools you could use to play with whatever partner, and finding that partner was up to you. Today, we are going to give you the tools you need to find those partners that fall into whatever sexual niche you're into, so you can do some of the things that we talked about a couple weeks ago. If you weren't in that live stream, if you go to our main page, bit.ly/SunnyGetVocal, there's 2 tabs, live and upcoming and recorded. Click on recorded, go to the long distance kink and sexy time stream and watch the recording, and you'll get all of that information. So do you want to talk about the different sub-communities, or you want me to?
No, I'll talk about that. So we have a few different sexual sub-communities that you could be looking at to being a kinky person, and you might fall into one or more than one area if you're a really kinky motherfucker. These are and some of them are basic ones I think most of us know about, like BDSM, and I don't think I need, like, everybody knows the letters.
Bondage and discipline, dominance and
yeah.
submission, and sadomasochism.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Because nobody knows what it means otherwise.
I'm being a sadist right now. I'm
yes,
telling
you are.
when you don't want to know. Okay.
All right, you continue.
No, good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So BDSM is one, swinging, being poly, working on your relationships. So like doing things like whether you're going to open up your relationship for just sexual activities or you're going to open it up for relationship stuff. That's kind of the difference between swinging and poly. When you look at poly, you're more relationship focused, where swinging is just more sexuality. You also might want to do or find someone who does sex work from either side of that. That's another part of this equation, and there's no reason why there can't be money from it. And especially if we're talking about going remote completely at this point, because being in, like, I hate the word thought, but like an e-thought is like that's one of the terms that they're using, is that they're like reclaiming that word.
Oh,
and
like
E-THOT.
Yes. Okay.
Like I'm an e-thought. Like,
okay.
So somebody who was on cam and was a cam boy, cam girl.
Okay.
Cam they.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So the reason why this is important is whatever sexual subcommunity or sexual niche that you're looking for is not only going to dictate what websites and the different places that you go to meet people, it's also going to dictate the etiquette that you use. The way that you approach people can be very different in these different communities. So a lot of people that I meet that are like, where are you laughing?
I'm thinking of the night we went like back to back from.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it was a book signing with Melina in.
Yeah, we went back to back, and we'll tell the story in a minute. But we went back to back from a BDSM event to a swinger event. It was very different. I'm going to tell you why these sub-communities are different. So a lot of people, when they're first like, hey, I want to do something outside of my sexual comfort zone, I want to be not so vanilla, and I want to get involved in kinky community, they're not really sure. They're just like, I want to be kinky. So they maybe go on one website and look for one thing, and everyone's like, oh, get away from me. And people may not be aware that these communities are very different. So I have heard, I think it was Nina Hartley that said this. It may have been Reed Mihalko, or maybe Reed was quoting Nina or something. But the difference between BDSM and swingers, like kinksters and swingers, is the difference between cats and dogs. And this is, when I heard this, I was like, oh my goodness, yes. People in a BDSM are like cats. Like, they will approach you when they want to approach you. They will tell you exactly how they want to be treated. And if you don't comply with whatever they've consented to, they're out of there. They're under the bed, or like, and swingers, being the puppies, are like, hi, how you doing? Hi, want to fuck? Hi, oh, I really like your boobs. Oh, I love that shirt. Oh, hi, and they're kind of all over you like a puppy. Neither one is better or worse. They are just different. Some people are cat people and some people are dog people. So tell the story.
But we are both people.
Exactly. So tell the story about when we went from a BDSM event that was very cat to a puppy.
I think you were actually because it was your experience.
Yeah,
You should tell that.
So we went to the BDSM event where it was like, oh, do I have your consent to hug you? And that's where I am more comfortable. Those are my people. I like to talk things out. I don't do well with like nonverbal innuendo. I don't do well with people just sexualizing me and objectifying me without my consent. So I was cool, you know. Then we go to the swinger event, and Ken had been talking to a couple online, and this is the first time we had met in person. So, you know, he's like, oh, over there's a couple I was talking to. Let's go meet them. Okay, we come up. Oh, hi, it's so great to meet you in person. And da-da-da, you know, it's a husband and wife or whatever. And the guy, as he's shaking my hand, looks me straight in the eye, like, how's the weather out there, with that tone of voice, and says, I would really like to see my dick between your tits, or so. And I was like, like what is happening? You know, so that
this to be clear, this was at a munch type situation. It was not at a swing club.
Right. Yeah. So this was in a bar, like a meet and greet in a bar, and we'll talk about what those are a little bit later. But yeah, it was different. It was very different. I often say when you look at the sexual sub-community, people, like, they're like the kids in high school at the lunch table. You got the jocks and the dorks and the, you know, the cheerleaders and the whoever. Then they all hate each other. And they're all like, we do sex better than you do sex. And we do relationships better than you do relationships. And I find that's oftentimes when you see polyamorous people together and swingers together, I see that like lunch table high school thing where the polyamorous people are like, we are all about relationships and feelings, and we get to know people. We're not just having cheap sex with people that we don't remember their name. Yeah. Yeah. And of course I'm poking fun because I consider myself part of the polyamorous community. But I'm stereotyping the extreme. Mm-hmm. And the swinger people usually look at the poly people like, oh my God, they're always so serious and they're always processing their feelings. And we just want to have a good time. We just want to have a glass of wine or two and get a blowjob. Like, so you see that a lot between the different sub communities. And that's important to know when you're floating in and out of them, to know how that affects the culture and the etiquette. All right. So yeah, explore before you go exploring, explore within yourself what you want, why you want it. Do you want a quick one-time deal? Are you after more sex, like the fucking, the genitals?
More long-term relationship?
Yeah, exactly. BDSM. Really think about exactly what you want. That's going to be really important when you're looking for people, because you need to tell them exactly what you want, or you might find yourself in a position that you don't want to be in. All right.
There's one truism, I think, with any of the things that we're going to be talking about today. When you're trying to network and you're trying to meet other people, and it's about sexuality, because sexuality is such a vulnerable thing, brutal honesty is going to be your ally in all of this across the board. Everything from your opinions, even your politics, your religion, what you do not want to do, like all of that needs to be taken into consideration. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with like pictures and that you're going to put up of yourself. You always want to have the most current ones.
Oh shit! Available. What just happened?
Did you just disconnect us?
Yeah, hold on. What just happened? That was weird.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Well, I had to copy paste something. Hold on. Do you guys still? Oh no, we're still here. Okay. I had Get Vocal up on 2 tabs. I went to go copy paste the links for you, and I was like, I just fucked everything up. I didn't. Okay. Who witchcraft? Yeah. Okay.
It's because you have 97 tabs open.
It's my kink. Don't kink shame, please. I need to find the multiple tab community. Those are my people.
Is there a multiple tab community?
Rule 34?
Yeah,
there's porn for everything. There's a kink for everything. I'm telling you. Okay. Anyway, did you finish saying what you were saying? Because I just got all discombobulated in my brain. Okay.
No idea. Let's go on.
Okay. So I'm gonna copy paste for you. I have so many tabs, so you're with me. I'm gonna copy paste for you a whole list of links. And it loses the formatting when I copy paste here. I'm so sorry. It was really neat with like little, and it's not. Just take that, throw it somewhere, because I'm going to go through all of the websites for you. I would think the number one place, did I put the virtual events? Yeah, I did. The number one place to find kink, mostly BDSM, some swinging, some like just hedonistic activity, is FetLife.
FetLife.com. Yeah. I would say that's the number one.
I don't even know how many million members they have. I was member I was under 100,000. I know that. Like we met on FetLife, by the way. That's how we met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like 50,000, 40 something.
Yeah, and I want to say I was like 60,000. Like, yeah, it's bizarro. Anyway, so FetLife is cool. It is if you haven't heard of it, it's a social networking site. It's not necessarily a dating website. And you have a profile, you have a wall, people can write on your wall, you have friends, you have a timeline. And the thing I like about FetLife is there are different user groups for whatever you're into. If you're into multiple tabs, go find the multiple tab group and you can talk tab porn or whatever, or feet or bondage or whatever you're into. Granted, all of these sites are sex sites. So you are going to run into weird people. Like that is a given. Just because I'm like...
And amazing weird and weird.
Exactly. So just because I'm like, this is a pretty good site does not mean I'm endorsing it 100%. Does not mean you don't have to be careful about who you're engaging with. Like you need to use your best judgment with people that you're hooking up because there are weirdos everywhere. Just throwing that out there. There are also the sleazy guys who are like, hey, here's my dick. Hey, here's my dick. Hey, here's my dick. You're never going to escape those people.
Oh, speaking of which, one of the things that I always like to mention is that Sonny or I don't do anything to recommend anybody at this point. We are only responsible for the both of us, and I'm even questionable, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sonny's 100%. I'm a little shaky with stuff. I mean, I am what I am.
Yeah. So
no, we don't endorse anybody. If anybody says that we endorse them, they are lying.
Yeah,
I don't care who they are.
Exactly. So the cool thing about FetLife is just recently, I think this is just recently, unless I've never noticed it before, there are events, okay? So you can say, normally if we were leaving our house, I'm in Las Vegas. So I'm going to find the groups that are Las Vegas events, or I'm going to narrow my search of events where I'm just showing stuff within, 50 miles of me or whatever, which is cool. However, now you can designate your events as virtual. So the second link I put there is just the list of virtual events. Again, I'm not going to vouch for all events because some events are great. Like this, I put on FetLife this week. Hi, if you're here from FetLife. And some events are just like, that's not an event. One event was like, how about we all stop talking about COVID-19? It's not an actual event. It's just someone put it up there because they wanted their voice to be heard. It's probably the same guy who's like, hey, here's my dick in private messages. Like, but yeah, go through. There's some cool online events there. Whippler, which I was on Whippler a long time ago. I thought it was completely dead. Is it as good as FetLife? No. But it's similar where there's groups. There's people you can meet. There are groups now popping up that are online virtual groups. If you want to have an online orgy, you may be able to be like, hey, who wants to have a Zoom orgy? Or I don't know if Zoom's really safe. Whatever you're using, Skype.
That's a terrible idea.
Not a Get Vocal orgy, because that's not allowed.
And definitely not a Zoom orgy.
No.
And if you're going to have a Zoom orgy, definitely don't do it on an iPhone. There's an iPhone hack on Zoom where they can log into your camera really easily.
Yeah, Zoom isn't so great. Alt.com is still around. That's like back in the collar me days, but it's a place, Same with
great endorsement.
Yeah,
it's a place.
I said
on the internet.
I'm not endorsing all of these. There are some of these websites that I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, and other ones I'm like, I'm just putting it here to put it here, and that's up to you if you want to go to that no man's land. Adult Friend Finder, same kind of thing. It's like that's still a website. It is. You can meet people there, but the thing is, you have to pay to unlock stuff, and I like things that are free. So you can find free things. Don't pay for Adult Friend Finder. All right. Cassidy is another one. Now, these next ones are swing websites. So Cassidy, swinglifestyle.com, and lifestylelounge.com. Some of them have varying levels of you can pay in. All of them have some free, some more than others. But if you're more on the swinger side of things, or you want to organize that online orgy, that's probably, those are the places you're going to find the people that are like, yeah, I want to shake my genitals in front of the camera and whack off and like sex, hedonistic sex.
Actually, I have a note here for sex educators. If you are a sex educator and you're listening to this, one of the things that this is one of our little secrets is that we will use Cassidy, and usually we might get a handful of people from them because they might not have heard about us through any other method. But when we go through like Cassidy or Adult Friend Finder, any of the other ones here, some of those lesser used ones have people that are fans of that particular app for whatever reason, and so they tend to go there. Like some people are Twitter people, some people are Facebook people, some people are Snapchat people. There are people that are Cassidy people still.
Yeah.
They've been on there.
And I actually, when I was on Whippler earlier, I was like, oh, this place, there's still people here. Like maybe we should put our events on Whippler. I haven't logged on in years, but yeah. I don't like it. I don't like the interface. It just doesn't feel, because I'm used to FetLife and there's more people on FetLife that when you try one program, then you go to a new one, you're like, it's different. It's not that it's bad. It's just like, it's different. I don't like it. I'm a cat person on this website's a dog. All right. So dating websites, of course there's out of all like the more vanilla dating websites, I would say OkCupid is probably the open-minded-ist, but there's a new one. Hold on.
Wait. So I haven't had very good luck with
That's true. In Chicago it was, but it depends on where you live.
Well, OkCupid, like I got a little bit too Ken-like.
Oh, you were too dirty.
Yeah, I was too dirty and I got booted.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, it is still a vanilla website. Even though you can say, I'm polyamorous, we're a couple, I'm kinky. You can find kinky people there. And of course, there's always like the Tinders and the Grinders and the Bumbles and that sort of thing. But there's a new-ish dating website that's pretty cool called #Open. And I like it because it is very much geared towards people who don't fall into the cis het norm. There's like 23 different gender identities, 23 different sexual identities. You can fill it out as a couple, as a single, or you can have a dual profile. So you can be a single and switch back and forth with your couple profile, which is pretty cool. And I like
Yes, Maurice.
What? Yes, that's okay. So Maurice said, there was the thing that got Ken kicked off. If I can shove your head in the toilet while fisting you on the first date, we won't. Or if I can't shove your head in the toilet while fisting you on the first date, we won't work out.
That may or may not have been the thing
that is what got Ken kicked off. And I'm just gonna say again, if you're watching on Facebook, Periscope, or YouTube Live, and you're like, I don't see you pasted a thing of links in the chat, because I'm only interacting with people on Get Vocal. They're the only things I can see. So come on over to bit.ly/Sunny, SUNNY, Get Vocal, GETVOKL, and then you can interact with us and ask questions and get the links and all that stuff. Okay, so #open, yay. Meetup.com used to be a good place when we were allowed to leave our house.
Meetup.com is still around.
Yes, and it's fucking amazing.
Not right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I was just on there. Yes.
Because it's like virtual meetup.
Exactly. So everyone hears meetup.com and they think like, is this like my grandma having an AOL email address? Like, are you kidding me? Meetup.com. If you throw events, you would be amazed at how many active event-going people are on meetup.com and how many kinky, sex-related, polyamorous, LGBTQ, sex-related things there are on meetup.com. And since COVID-19, Meetup has gone completely virtual, and there's actually quite a few events still on meetup.com. So go fucking figure.
What were some of the cooler ones that you remember seeing?
I can't remember, but okay. Yeah. So go figure. All right, and then there's I want to get first date first date speed dating app. This is new. So speed dating where you go sit around a table and you're like blah, 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 and then you go to the next person. Blah, 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 blah. First Date has an app where you speed date with people. It's pretty cool. We talked to the founder of First Date. We haven't used it ourselves yet, but I'm digging it. If you make a profile on First Date, you can set it where like it says, invite me to First Date, events that I would match with. I haven't finished filling out my profile, so I haven't really gotten matched with much yet. But there are also people that go on, like, we could do a first date event where we just use first date as our platform. So we could do like a kinky meetup where
we could be matchmakers.
We could be matchmakers. It's like doms and subs rotate and then do speed dating with each other. So that's a cool newish website. Like I said, we haven't really done an event yet, even though we've been in it and looked at the back end. But it looks pretty cool. And I'm seeing dungeons doing it. Like, I heard about it because someone's like, my local dungeon is doing a speed dating event online. And I was like,
somebody from Get Vocal, or was it Patreon?
I can't remember where. It might have been someone in here.
Yeah, I think it was somebody in here.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And so then I looked in, like,
Maurice,
is there a speed dating platform? And sure shit, there is. They just launched when COVID happened. They launched early because of COVID. And the poor people who own it are working all night. They don't sleep. They're crying. They're drinking too much caffeine, but they're getting shit done. So it's pretty cool. All right, so sex work. Know the like, sometimes it's just easier to cut to the chase. If you've got the money, especially now, support your local sex workers because, you know, so there are a bunch of different websites, like the erotic reviews.
I was just gonna, are you sure that's up? I thought,
yeah, I was just on it. I thought it was down too. It's up now.
Okay. Also, there's one that's not on the list that I highly recommend, tryst.com, tryst.com.
Yeah.
That's a good one for meeting sex workers.
Yeah. And then like Slixa just added a long distance dating section to their website. Yeah. And another cool thing, if you want to do your own, like you want to do like an OnlyFans, and you don't have to get naked to do an OnlyFans, like you can be creative and have titillating pictures. You could be creative and put like your audio erotica up on an OnlyFans type of site. Like you don't have to be showing your stuff. And basically it's a subscription site where people subscribe to you and they get your content. There is a newish site called ismygirl.com. And I just saw a press release from them until June. The creators get 100% commission. Like the only thing that comes out of your pay are the credit card processing fees, which are just a very small percent. It's like 1 or 2%.
What is ismygirl.com?
It's like an OnlyFans. There's Is My Girl, Is My Guy, and then another one. I'm not sure. But that's kind of cool. If you're the one who wants to experiment with like, I'm going to put my boob pictures online. Maybe I'm not going to show my face. But I'm just, you know, it's fun and I'm going to do it and see maybe if some people pay for it. That's kind of a good way. Oh, tell them what you said.
No.
Oh, can I tell them?
Yeah.
Okay. He said that he would pay to see a website of like what is it? What the fuck is this website called again? Is My Girl. He would pay to see an Is My Girl of just my boobs. So I am not going to do that. But I'll do it for you, and I'll just email them to you. Okay. Oh, God. I'll email them on my AOL account to you, Grandpa. I will text them to you. I will sext them to you. I will Marco Polo them to you.
What the hell is a Marco Polo?
It's a new thing. I got two.
No, don't Marco
He doesn't
Polo.
want any new things.
No new things, no robots, no self-checkout, none of that.
I'm knocking everything over. Okay. And then he can send you here. Here's my dick email. Exactly. Let's see. There's a decent headline for OkCupid. I'm just looking here. Okay. So you found a website. You've determined, okay, let's say kink is your thing and you want to, you know, do some like dom sub stuff with somebody.
And you're looking for a long-term sub. Because we knew, like we talked about length.
Okay, but I'm just going to say you don't have to define your role. Was the next thing I was going to say. You just like cop block that. Like, okay. So you're filling out a website. You want to do some kink stuff, some dominant submissive stuff, but maybe you're not sure. You're like, being a sub is kind of appealing, but maybe being a dom is cool. Maybe I'm a switch. Maybe I'm a little. I don't know what I am because I've never done this before. Don't freak out when you have to fill out your profile and it's like, define your role. I remember when I did my first FetLife, it was like, you know, you put your figure out your username and shit, and then it was like roll, or what is it? Roll? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. And I was like, I don't know. I think I'm a sub, but I'm not sure. I have no idea. Luckily, they had Kinkster as it, so I just chose Kinkster because I was like, I don't know. I love FetLife for that because you can just choose, like, that's my equivalent of like, not all websites have that. Just choose what you want. You know, if it forces you into, like, one is like Dom sub switch. I can't remember if it was like Whippler or something. Just pick one and then say in your profile, like, I'm not sure. You know, I'm experimenting around. Don't let that stop you. When it comes to responding to people online or reaching out to them, one basic rule is don't be a creep, you know?
Unless that's a pre-negotiated thing that you know about. Like I am, so me personally, I am on some of the creepy old men user groups on FetLife. I love them. I actually get a ton of response because I like girls that like creeps.
Yeah, but it's like, again, that's a pre-negotiated creep.
Yeah.
Most people, you know, as a female identified person on the internet, most men that approach me are creeps, and some know they're creeps, but I think a lot have no idea they're being creeps. So a couple of ways to not be a creep. One is the message, hey, hi, hey, don't do that. I actually went through my inbox on FetLife to show you. I have 74 unopened messages because you can see the first, like, sentence, and I know they're just in the first 5 words. I'm like, you are a creep. I'm not going to open your message. So they are. This is just in the first page. One is, hey, beautiful. Different one. Hey, beautiful, how are you doing? Different one. Hi, ma'am, how are you doing? You see a pattern here? And these are ones I just opened for the first time today because I was like, another one just, hello, miss. Yes. Yay! Ken's creep got a tip.
Hey, I'm good at it's my skill set.
Okay.
This is my bailiwick.
This one is my favorite. Okay, I'll save that one for last. Here's another one. You're absolutely stunning, hard eyes, motherfucker. How are you on this beautiful day? Which I was like, okay, we're kind of maybe. Like, I'll read the next sentence. We should do a video together. It would get lots of streams. Yeah, first of all, did I say in my profile that I do sex videos and that I do sex videos with strangers? And I don't know who the fuck you are. So, creepy. This one takes the cake. 25M. Okay, there was, first of all, no punctuation, no capital letters, and all of the R's and the U's are like prints, like letter R, letter U. Your is you are, one is number one, you know. 25M, just want to say you're cute. My cock's so small. I wish I could one day get a girl like you. Then he responded 4 years later and said, please tell me why, what's wrong? Don't be that guy.
You should have said, I only like 25-year-olds.
Well, wait. Oh, yeah, because now he's 29.
Yeah, that would be the sadistic thing to do.
So a couple of basic things. Yeah. Couple of basic things is, if you listen to the podcast with Midori, we did this week on the Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Midori talked about when you are approaching someone, self-centered versus collaborative sexual motives. And we have to take that into account. But before we even take that into account, we have to take consent into account, because there are plenty of people that like to be sexually objectified, but most people do not like to be sexually objectified without their consent first. So not, hey, I love your boob, although you approached me saying nice boobs was the first thing. So, okay, we are the exception to the rule. But he said nice boobs in an endearing way, and then went on to do a whole nother message. it was a picture of my boob he was responding to. So I think that's okay. But he was endearing in the rest of them. I forget what you said, but it wasn't just nice.
Well, it's like it's like when I'm being a dick. It's all about the delivery.
That's true.
It's about the delivery.
So
you can say nice boobs, but you can't just go nice boobs, ogle, ogle.
So one of the ways, if you're on a website that is for kink or swinging or sex, like the point is we're going to do some sex stuff, just you can leave. That's one option. Be like, hey, you know, I was looking at your profile and I noticed it's like, let people know you have actually read their profile and you know what they're into. Because I get people approaching me all the time. Oh, mistress, da da da. Yes, it says I'm dominant, but am I your dominant? Did I say I am looking for people to dominate? I don't have that on. I'm not looking for people to dominate. So fuck you. So, you know, hey, I read your profile. I noticed you're into XYZ. I am looking, you know, for my next experience to be XYZ also. Would you be interested in talking further? And then maybe there's a compliment in there, not a compliment of, usually compliments are going to have a better chance of going over well when they're not about something that the person can't control. So, hey, I mean, you got it with nice boobs. Like, we are totally going against what we're saying. But it could be like, I really like the way you did your hair, or I love that outfit that you picked in that one picture was really sexy or something. Because like oftentimes I get pissed off when people compliment me oftentimes about things I can't control. Like, you're so pretty. It's like, fuck you. Like, I'm feeling objectified. I would rather be complimented on something that I made a conscious decision about. Like, I wouldn't pick that outfit. It took me 4 hours. I was deciding between this one and that one, and I picked. You are recognizing and appreciating the fact that a lot of thought went into this outfit. Thank you. Like, that is a much better compliment for me, you know? So yeah, you can try that approach. Do not objectify people without their consent. You'd be like, hey, you know, I want to talk dirty. You want to talk dirty? Hey, would you want me to tell you what I think about when I see your pictures? You know, you can say it in a sexy way and wait for them to respond back. And then if they bite, then go a little further. So don't be a creep. Let's see. Where are we?
Just want to say, you are cute.
Shut up. Cis men, especially cis hetero men in the dating sphere, like, or whether you're hetero or not, cis men that are approaching women, put it that way, you are going to be scrutinized, you know, for a lot of reasons. One, big reason is you act like the people's messages that I read here, and usually even worse, like, you know, as someone who is female presenting, I have gotten, hey, you know, you're hot, or hey, some objectifying comments. And then I'm like, hey, not really interested, in a nice way, but just letting them know, like, oh, not my thing, but thanks, you know. Then it comes back like, well, you're a fat cow, you're a bitch, nobody would want to fuck you, and like just really horrible things. And this has happened to most women multiple times. We've been run around by people who, you know, don't know how to spell or don't know how to approach people. So yeah, you're gonna be scrutinized more. So look at where that's coming from. I don't know, you as a cis man approaching women online, what is it like for you?
I get rejection just as much as anybody else. I think the difference is how I approach people initially and how I handle the rejection. My standard rejection thing is very brief, and it's just, you know what, thank you very much for your time and have a great day.
Okay.
And I just leave it at that.
And how do you approach? Because I think like for you, it's going to be different because you are a dominant man who is like creep identified kind of in your profile.
Yeah.
And you, I'm assuming, approach women where you have seen in their profile something indicating that they would be compatible and that they would like that. So that might kind of skew how you approach versus how someone else should approach.
Yeah, part of it depends on what kind of thing that I have in common with the person. That's really a big part of it. And it's very subjective because I'm not looking for just one thing. Sometimes I'm just looking for an idea. Maybe it's a submissive that I want. Maybe it's a girlfriend. I don't know. I scour people's profiles though, and I look to see like what do they have that's compatible with me. Sex is the easy part. It really is. It's the easy part. It's the everything else that's a little bit more difficult. So I want to see what they have, what is important to them. That's one of the most important things. So I look at their user groups on the side. That's one thing that'll tell you a lot about a person. Like you can see probably the area of the world that they live in too.
Okay.
That's a pretty consistent thing. And then I start taking a look at what groups they're in and what fetishes they have for pet life specifically.
Interesting. And one thing I do want to mention that I didn't mention before that I think is really important. When you're approaching people online, especially for kink stuff or any kind of sexual sub community that you want to get deeper into, we need to move over this way. No, this way. Okay. You shouldn't be crooked on camera. That's no. Don't just look for people to fuck or for people to play with. Especially if you are sort of new in whatever community you're going after, you need to have like-minded friends. You need to have community. One cool thing about what's happening now with everyone going online is it gives an opportunity for different types of people to thrive. So when I think of myself, this is my fucking like meeting people wet dream. I do not like to meet people in person. I have social anxiety. If I could only play with people online, like I've been playing with people online for years and I prefer it. To me, even though it's fun to play in person sometime, it's a big procedure for me. It like takes a lot out of me to do an in-person thing, where now that everything's online, I was like, oh, everyone, welcome to my world. This is great. So you may have a very unique experience if you're somebody who does have social anxiety or someone who, you can't quite get along in the in-person thing, or maybe you can't afford to go to some of the big kink conventions or whatnot to meet people. You now have the opportunity to shine in these communities that you found that you may not have had otherwise, which is really fucking cool. So don't just think, I'm only going to get some ass. Approach it as, I'm going to make some friends. I'm going to maybe meet a whole group of people. Like, look at us here in the comments. You are a community of people. And we're talking about some pretty kinky, fucked up shit. And you're not all trying to fuck each other. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know what's going on in here. But generally, we're just a bunch of friends chit-chatting and having a good time in the comments. So you have made that. And wherever you go online, you can make that. And now it's like, that's your fucking oyster, because everyone's going online and communities are just popping up everywhere. So like, that's the glass half full. So there's your pep talk for today.
Okay, I got a question.
What?
When you were doing your research, and you might not have come across anything like this, did you find anything specific for furries?
I did not. I know.
I would love to see a furry I would love to see a furry live stream. That would just be amazing if it was like constant, like they have, because I watched the actual kittens and dogs live streams, like the puppies playing, like that they have at different places, like pet stores, like actual. Okay. Yeah.
I was like swingers and kinksters.
No, like actual puppies and actual kittens. Okay. I think it'd be awesome though to see like puppy play or kitten play or furries.
But they can't be with each other unless they live with each other.
That's why you have a live stream. Each camera is an individual person, and then it switches off. So like maybe this person's there for an hour, and then it goes to the next person. And the next person.
So I would think there's got to be private stuff. I would recommend, because there was a furry website, like a furry meeting website, that when Sesta Foster went down, like it was about 2 years ago, April of 2018. The site went offline.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I'm not really part of the furry community, even though I'm wearing ears.
I would love to be, actually.
Oh, it's furry appropriation. I'm sorry, furries. I respect your culture. I'm honoring your culture, not taking from it.
Maurice, I forgive you.
But I also don't know what I am. Am I a panda? Am I a bear? These aren't quite cat. Like, what am I? Am I a puppy? What am I?
I don't know.
I don't know what I am. Tell me what I am in the comments. Anyway, I
know what you are.
What?
You're Carol fucking Baskins.
Hello, cool cats and kittens.
With a blonde wig.
No. So I'm gonna actually open up the locking things because it's already 10 minutes to the end of the show. How did that happen? But I also, come on and ask questions. I'll keep talking because I know all of you will come to the party after I stop the broadcast. Then you all come on and we hang out. So if you're watching the recording right now and you're like, oh, fucking be here live. And if you're on Facebook or one of the other places that isn't Get Vocal, get your ass to Get Vocal because we could sit here and have a fucking party after we hit stop and you're missing it. So anyway,
yes, like look at Rachel's comment there.
I saw, Trump might pardon the Joe Exotic, which is like, what the hell? Anyway, but I want to really say really quick, some of the normal types of places, well, not normal, default types of places when we could leave our houses that you would meet people would be munches or sloshes, which is basically a group of kinky or polyamorous or whatever group you're in, people go to a restaurant and it's a social gathering where it's like you get some nachos and a glass of wine, you meet people and you network.
But not during social distancing.
Not during social distancing. And a slosh is the same sort of thing, but it's at a bar.
But not during social distancing.
Yes. However, I have been seeing people are having online munches. I haven't been to one. Off the Cuffs podcast, they have a Discord server where I think they do online munches. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So you can find, if you just type in munch, online munch, virtual munch, that sort of thing, you might be able to find stuff. Same with conventions. That was a great place to go for a whole weekend. You could be naked and beating people, meeting people and fucking people all weekend. You can't do that anymore, but a lot of conventions have gone online. Granted, you're not going to have the after parties like you did in person, but it's still a way to meet people. Wicked Grounds, the coffee shop in San Francisco, is doing classes like every day or every other day. Oh shit, did I forget to put the link? I might have. Let me see if I can get it for you real quick. So they're doing online classes. They are for a fee, and I don't know how much socialization you're going to get. Like, I'm not saying go there to socialize because it's an online class. Normally, if you would go to classes in person, there's always time to socialize before or after. But it's kind of a cool place to hang out with your people if you're kinky. So there's a link right there. Other shops like Self-Serve, Sugar in Baltimore. I'm going to be teaching a couple classes for Sugar probably later on this month online. Luna Matatas does classes. Andre Shakti does live classes. So there's lots of places you can go and like talk in the comments and meet people. What else? What else did I want to say? Staying safe. I'll do a quick staying safe. I would recommend never use your real name. I would recommend get a separate email address for your kinky activities. Because you're also not supposed to do sexy things online.
And make it a proton mail or something encrypted. Yeah.
Try to keep your anonymity. Like, don't go telling people where you live. Make sure you're on your cell phone. You have the picture, like what is it? The numbers.
The face recognition.
No, the map numbers. What's that called? Coordinates. Your pictures show the coordinates of where it was taken. So if you're taking hot selfies in your house and you haven't turned that off in your phone, people can get the picture and look at your coordinates and find out where you live.
Oh, the geo tracker.
Yeah. So things like that. Yeah, the location setting. Thank you. So things like that, be careful because there's still jerks online. Even though you're like, oh, I can have stranger sex and it's safer. It's safer. It's not completely, nothing's completely 100%. Safe. Yeah. So watch your ass. Also, I know when we did the cyber sex, we talked about the online dildos and vibrators and stuff that you can use with your cell phone, you can control. This is a great place to, all of these websites, wherever is your niche. If you're like, hey, I want to give control of my vibrator to a hot stranger tonight, there you go. So there's lots of stuff you can do. All right. Any questions? We have 5 minutes left. Even in the chat, even if you don't want to come online, because I know how y'all are, you don't want to show your faces. Anyone? No. Oh, Nick's here.
I don't have a question, but I'll just come on to say hi.
Hey, how
Nick.
are you?
Thank you, Nick.
Not too bad, just hanging out for the evening.
Yay. See, now you got a bunch of different websites to go to. Look at that. Look at that. I'm a little excited, though, because I don't know why it's taken me. Oh, I know why it's taken me so long, because I hate people. I hate people in real life. So like he's always had OkCupid websites and dating, meeting people, and I'm just like, how can you do that? People, they're gonna want to see you in real life. So now that nobody can see anybody in real life, I went and made a hashtag open profile. Although I did put like, I only am looking for friends. I don't want it's a little too much. But I'm kind of excited. Like I can meet people with no obligation of ever having to see them face to face and be in the same room and have to brush my teeth and take a shower. And like, that's my thing. Am I the only one who is like thriving in this environment? Repeat what again? Whoops.
Did you just fart?
No.
You are.
Now I'm laugh farting. It's like still going. Okay.
I'm farting. Oh man. Sorry. Oh, so no. I need a gas mask.
Don't be shame the cat. Don't be shame. Oh, a kink page for unkempt
It's a
people.
farty party.
I know, which is a thing. Okay, let me tell you how to have a farty party. Okay, I did not know so we went to sex camp where it was like swingers and kinksters and everybody was there. Dark Odyssey Fusion, and someone is like, everyone. It's activities all the time, but they're all fuck activities. And one of our cabin mates, it was like, oh, what are you doing this afternoon? I'm going to a farty party. What? You're gonna? Yeah, we fart on people, and we're. How can you like fart on command? Like how? Like so you get the little nasal aspirators for babies, like the little bulb syringe, and you stick it in your ass. You blow air in your ass, and then you can fart at will. So everyone going to the party had these little baby booger suckers. And they were sticking them up their asses so they could fart. It's a thing. So, yeah. Okay. Dawn has been thriving in the online world. Thank you. Thank you. I feel validated because I just love it. I fucking love it. It's great. Like, I don't even have to contour right. Like, I just kind of go, bah. And it's like, oh, I look great with this ring light. Like, in real life, people be like, you got weird lines and shit. Like, I love this. It's great. No? You don't like it?
Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I'm more concerned with the practicality.
Almost 8 years with one partner online. That's fucking amazing. What about using Second Life for online sex? Okay, let me tell you about one thing. Then we got to shut this off. There's a is it called Red Light District? Red Light Center. That is like Second Life, but for fucking. And they've been around for years. I have not played Second Life. When Second Life was a thing, it was Second Life or World of Warcraft. And I went the World of Warcraft route and never did Second Life. I hear people do fucking things on Second Life. I mean, it's still around. I don't think it's as big. But if you're specifically looking for people to fuck, look into Red Light Center. It's a MMORPG that's like Second Life, but everyone fucks everybody. So that's kind of awesome. Hi, Maurice.
Howdy.
Real quick, Maurice. I'm gonna say goodbye to our people, and then we'll keep talking.
Okay.
Recorded people on Facebook, people on Periscope, people on YouTube. We're going to have a party now. We're going to shut off the broadcast. I want to thank you for being here. Go do some kinky things online or some polyamorous things or whatever kind of things you want to do online. Tune in every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific for American Sex Live. And also every Monday morning, our audio podcast drops on all the podcast players. And apparently every Wednesday, Ken also fist himself. Not really. So any closing goodbyes?
No.
That's it. All right.
It.
Bye. Go get Kinky online and tell us about us next week. Okay, we're going to have a party. Okay. Oh, there we go.